Good morning, everyone. It's Eric with His&Hers HHQ. And I say it's morning because it is morning. It's technically Wednesday and therefore morning. All right, couple of quick things before we get to the reveal, which you can see is hiding behind me. Real quick, I've got a TikTok now, and we will add a link to that in the video description. We do just quick bits of the completed builds with that. Redbubble, either Redbubble or Teespring store, we will have merch coming up here in the next couple of weeks, so look for that. It's, you know, not a big thing, but just anything to help support the channel, help the channel grow. I don't know if I'm supposed to be looking here or here. Either way, let me know in the comments. And yeah, and this is me. That's my ugly mug. Okay, so just a real quick thing before we get to that. If you go back in my video history, you will find what started off as a VUC, van truck. And it was something that, you know, my two youngest and I come across at McDonald's. And I asked the gentleman if I had, or if it was a problem with me trying to recreate what he had in scale form. He said, by all means. And so I set out to do that. And it was one of those weird things, much like the Wolfman build. It started out as one thing in my head and then grew into something else. Like, I was literally in the middle of working on it, and something just clicked, and I said, oh, what if I raise the roof on this? Because I had an old 71 Dodge camper van, and I figured, well, what the heck, it's a 77 Ford, and I'll see about raising the roof. The moment I did and was sizing things and trying to figure out exactly how I was going to do it or how it would look, in my head I'm going, you know, that kind of reminds me of something, which took me down the memory lane of all the classic Saturday night creature features when I was a kid, you know, 6, 7, 8 years old. 40 years ago, be at home with my mom and creature features. The old Boris Karloff and I can't remember his name, but all the Dracula, the Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Mummy, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and yes, even the Invisible Man. So I wanted to see if I could do something with this van, and I did. I pulled it off. So now it just launched. Now originally I did call them Monsters of the Road, but I prefer Creatures of the Road because that's what everybody refers to them as. So the Creatures of the Road. And now I have the Wolfman. So the Frankenstein and Wolfman are done. And the next one up, I do believe, since I actually settled on it, will be Dracula's Hers. And then as soon as I get it, I will get the mummy going. And I have this weird idea for the Invisible Man and the Creature from the Black Lagoon. But I have this really cool idea for the Invisible Man. don't mind the shaky camera. My camera person is giggling. Anyway, so real quick, that's where we're at with that. And give me just a moment. And due to the magic of editing and the internet, I go like, and we're back. See, just like that. I better be careful how I snap. I might snap to something else. Anyway, so we've been, it's been 4 weeks now. And this is where we're at. So, His&Hers HHQ brings to you the Goodguys Rod and Custom Association and Revell 29 Ford pickup 3-in-1 1/25th scale as the Wolfman. Now, one of these days I'll get one of those little turntables, those little styluses or whatever it is, to get this thing to spinning around. But I think this turned out pretty daggum cool. I mean, you know, it's a personal thing. Couple of quick notes. I will tidy up a few things on this. I know there's quite a few of us out there that do it. We'll do a final reveal and then we'll look at something and go, you know what? We're going to add something. I said there was going to be torches and they are sitting over there. Now I'm working on them, but I want them to have a certain look before I mount them. So that'll be a little while longer. And I wanted you all to be able to see this cage that took me a day and a half to scratch build and of course get painted. And there's the, let me see here, zoom in just a little bit. And there's our little lock. So yeah, obviously the creature got away and a little pissed off, I guess. So anyway, I'm going to add a tarp. So now that you've seen this, and I'm going to shred the tarp a little bit and get the torches mounted. And of course, I would forget the door handles. Don't worry, I will add them when it, but anyway, that happens. You know, a couple of us like to look at old builds and go, wait, does it have a drive shaft? Pardon me. So yeah, it's my bad, my fault. I didn't even think about, I mean, I was trying to get this, get like the Ford decal, try to get that right. And of course the license plate and the hood. No, I didn't articulate the hood. I just, let me see here, get that. I put it in place. And yes, I left that brass, I think it is. Yeah, brass. I left that bare metal because it just goes with the rest of the build. But I don't think this is too bad for my first try doing this. I really enjoyed working with the Milliput, and I look forward to doing more with it. I'm going to, evidently there's quite a few of these, so I'm going to try several of them, see how well they do or how well they work with things. But I mean, this hood really turned out fantastic. Yes, I went with this And a part of me is going, you know, I could have done it this way or I could have done it that way. But when it comes down to it, that it just works. And the paint job over the primer, all I did was essentially, let me see. All I did was dry brush, and instead of using one of those nice smooth brushes, I used one of these old coarse hair brushes, and very carefully just created the lines little by little. And I did the whole body that way, the inner ear kind of thing. I mean, I don't think it turned out too bad. The bottom I didn't do anything special with. I left it as is. But in the end, what I want you to be able to see, well, maybe you'll be able to see it in the pictures. But as you can see, I changed the seats. I went with a colonial red, I do believe is what it's called. And if you look at it, and yes, with the dark interior, it's really hard to see without some proper lighting. But when you look at it head on, it just looks absolutely vicious. So, but anyway, the Wolfman is in the books. I will touch up a few things here and there and add those, well, tidbits, the torches, the tarp, and evidently the door handles. That happens. So yeah, the Wolfman's in the books. Now, as a treat for me, just because I want to see this, and I hope you guys understand, I brought out the Wolfman's brother in arms, I guess you could say. Just because I enjoy seeing the two creatures together. And this is the running theme. The creature got away. As you can see, the creature got away. So that's going to be the running theme with all of these builds. Also, that oil rubbed bronze. In this case, this was the oil rubbed bronze was the lower portion of Frankenstein's monster, and oil rubbed bronze was the chassis and bumper of the Wolfman. So they will always, all of my builds in some way, shape, or form, I will incorporate this oil rubbed bronze. I love the way it looks. So here we go, everyone. And yes, it's just a massive build, but they're together. And I think we need to add Dracula to this. So the next, just because that's what's in the box, doesn't mean that's what has to come out of the box. Has to be Dracula's build. And I'm really looking forward to that. So I really appreciate everybody that followed along. You guys are phenomenal, guys and gals. And I appreciate everybody subscribing, the wonderful comments. You guys and gals are just phenomenal. I can't thank you enough. So if you haven't already, head on over to Facebook and follow us at His&Hers Hobby Headquarters. And as always, take a moment, like, subscribe, share the content, continue to spread the word of scale model building. Let your imaginations run wild. You can build it straight out of the box, or you can add that little bit of extra flair, that little bit of detail, that little bit of realism. Or my personal favorite, you can go absolutely wild. And I guess these are show rods, and you can make a show rod out of a 77 Ford van or a 29 Model T. It's your imagination, the sky's the limit. I look forward to comments. I look forward to everybody's builds and videos. We have more coming up, so stay tuned. I'm Eric with His&Hers HHQ. Thank you all for joining me. Comment below. Have a good day.